National Advertising Conference 2025, from my perspective, has lived to expectation, and I look at it on based on content in terms of what the conversations are. I also look at it from the perspective of the industry stakeholders and the opportunity they've had to express themselves, to raise questions, right? And I also love the subject of the thing, which is really around, how do we navigate these challenging times, right? And the role that technology plays. And if you participate or watch or participated in most of the sessions, you will see that there's hardly any discussion or conversation or subjects where technology or data does not play a big role, right? Even in governance, and the need to look at even governance from the perspective of technology, right? Because even in media planning, governance is to play a big role in our content. It needs to play a big role in our transparency principles. That is how much the client understand even the algorithmic process in media planning, for example. How much they understand, the bidding process, for example, and rebate structure that exists in the buying. Transparency needs to cut through the core of what you do as an agency. You need to continue to build on trust, ethics, professional ethics, and these are all areas that I believe this conference touched on, much more than, those are fresh areas compared to last year. So technology is great. Looking at governance, because that's key to sustainability of business. And when you run an agency at 5 years, what are you doing from a governance standpoint, and how have you imbibed, right, the principle of governance? There are a lot of startup businesses, right? So, of course, as a young business or young agency, as the founder, so much is within your control alone within the first few years. But after 4 or 5 years, you need to begin to think about the board and the role of a board, or whether it's adversarial, or a full scale, board, and how you tapping the experience of people who have walked the path, and even using the experience of those who might not necessarily be in your industry, but from a process or regulation perspective, from a people perspective, legal perspective, and ethics, they can bring in a lot of, they can open your eyes to see the landmines, right, in your path, even as a founder of business. And the more we get governance right, the more we are able to, bring in investment into the marketing communications, and just like you see in technology, fintech, right? So governance help in driving sustainability of agencies. I think it's one of the big key areas for me in this conference.